There's a verse Christians quote when life feels overwhelming. But if you listen to it, it's not that comforting at all. When the enemy comes in like a flood. You see, floods don't knock politely. They don't ask permission. They overwhelm what was stable. If you've ever felt like life arrived all at once, this verse already has your name. But there's a question we should, but rarely do, ask. There is wisdom here that moves us from victims to victory. What if the most important part of this verse is not the flood at all? Isaiah 59:19 says, "When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against him." Many stop at the flood, and that's normal. We naturally look at what is overwhelming us. Opposition, fear, shame, anxiety. There's more. Sometimes it comes all at once. Floods don't politely inconvenience you. They redefine the landscape around you. So we name it, we explain it, we analyze it. But Isaiah doesn't. So maybe we shouldn't either. Isaiah names it briefly, but then looks beyond it. The flood will not have that final word. You see, the word enemy here isn't just a person. It's anything that presses in on you. Then maybe this is what right now you think. If I feel overwhelmed, I must be failing. No. Floods are part of living in a broken world, whether they're natural or spiritual. The Bible doesn't deny that. It doesn't minimize it, and it doesn't shame you for it. Don't allow the lies that seek to make you feel ashamed, because there is an answer. Isaiah refuses to center on the flood, and so shall we. This video is not called Astonished by the Flood. It is astonished beyond the flood, because something else rises when the flood comes. Maybe the flood is not the end of the story. Let's go to the Bible again. Isaiah. "When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall rise up a standard against him." The Spirit of the Lord. That word spirit is ruach, breath. The same sacred breath that hovered over the waters in Genesis, that brings life into the chaos. And Isaiah says the breath raises a standard. His war banner, God, does not panic when the flood arrives. He breathes, and something rises. Let's go deeper by looking at Matthew 14. So the disciples are in a boat far from the land edge. Waves are battering against them. The wind is blowing against them. It is overwhelming. And Jesus comes to them. And there's no immediate removing of the storm, but he walks through the storm to them. He comes across the flood, the water. He is calm, unhurried, and present. Take courage. It is I. Don't be afraid. Peter says, "If that's you, Lord, call me and I'll come to you." Jesus says, "Come." And Peter steps out of the boat. He too walks on the water. Then his focus shifts from Jesus to waves, and he begins to sink. Jesus reaches out to him, and together they get into the boat, and the wind and the waves stop. The storm leads to worship, far deeper, more profound than before. They say, "Truly, you are the Son of God." Jesus has raised the standard. He raises his banner, and the enemy is driven away. He flees. But the banner isn't an idea. The banner is a person. When Jesus was lifted up on the cross, that was God raising his standard that drives away the enemy. So when the flood comes, we don't panic. We position ourselves. We turn to him. Holy Spirit, fill me. Because emptiness is where floods can rush in. Holy Spirit, protect me, because victory flows from relationship, not effort. Holy Spirit, teach me, because storms reveal what we don't yet know. These prayers, they don't fight the flood. They place us where God acts. We're not defined by what threatens us. We are not molded by the words of others, but we are formed by what God says. The flood in your life, even if right now it is overwhelming you, does not get to have the final word. Because Jesus Christ, the Word, is the beginning and the end. People of faith experience storms and floods, but curse becomes blessing, and Christ is discovered in greater depth in the storm. Maybe you'll walk on the water when he says come. And then maybe you'll be lifted into the boat of safety, realizing you have gone deeper in the Lord than you thought possible. But one thing's sure here, the storm is not your failure. Beyond the storm is your formation. The day is coming when you will look back and you will realize you were not drowning. You were being formed, astonished beyond the flood.